Good morning. It is June 6th, I think all day. This is Bev. This is the Bev D Show. I'm your host, and I like that part. I woke up today pretty excited about just what the day had in store for me, and one of my favorite parts of my day is this silly little thing I call the Bev D Show. I'm just really starting to enjoy this. I'm enjoying the feedback. I'm enjoying the listener reach. We have a listener in Spain. How exciting is that? I am in a little place called Ohio in the United States, and there's a listener in Spain. So we've got Japan, we've got some Alaska, we've got Spain, we've got all over the United States. I want to thank you. I feel really cool because one of my favorite places on the planet is New York City, and there is somebody listening in New York, New York. So thank you. Just wanted to thank you guys. It's really cool when you do these shows. You can tell where people are listening from, and I'm very excited to be able to say that we are reaching beyond my little metropolis in this northeastern Ohio area. So again, thanks so much. I'm really having a good time doing this. I was looking over, and my gosh, I've done several of these. I was doing them just in the evening once a week, and then I decided I really have so much more to say in the morning, and so now I'm doing them every morning in that 7-ish area, 7 a.m., and I'm doing them live and getting in the groove of doing them live like this because, soon we'll have sponsors. We will have people that will be calling in. We will have giveaways and all of that sort of good stuff, just like a real full-fledged little show here that I have dreamt about ever since I was a little girl. So I'm very grateful for the internet and my very dear friend Tim for getting me set up to be able to do this. It's pretty darn exciting. And in waking up, getting ready and doing my stretches and my little exercises and all that good stuff that I do in the morning, I was thinking about there was someone, and I don't know where it came from, but I sure do like it, changing their methodology of thinking. Whereas instead of, we often find ourselves saying, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go to work, or I have to, do this, or I have to do that. And there's this switch, a request of change in thought process in your mind that instead of saying, I have to do those things, whether they are responsibilities that we really don't care for, or whether they are really fun things that we love, we start saying something called get. I get to go to work today. I get to do this show. I get to do laundry. I get to take my car to get it fixed. Because if we start thinking about the things, whether we like them or not, but it's an honor to be able to get to do those kind of things, we start realizing or when I started practicing this exercise, I should say, I started appreciating the things that I don't like to do. And it put me in a place of appreciation that, right now I feel that I'm, there's so much more that I want out of life, and there's so many more things that I want to do. And we all have our wish list. I'm hoping that you do. And if you don't, please make a wish list, a dream of yours, where you want to be and how you want to change. And it can be anything from, I want to stop being so sad about this. I want to start doing this. I want to start, saving money for a vacation, or I want to change my career. I would rather be doing this as a career than what I'm currently doing. Write those things down, read them out loud, call them out to the universe, because you just never know. You might say something like, I'd love to be doing a little radio show, and the next thing you know, you're doing a little radio show. So that was something I thought, how will that ever happen? That will never come to fruition. But I still wish I could do it. I still wish there was a way that I could figure out how to do it. And lo and behold, the universe and something I call God placed a really special human being in my life and helped me along. So it turned out to be something that I wasn't doing alone, which I thought I can do everything alone. I've got this. I can figure it out. As soon as I opened up my heart to start receiving, you know what? You can't do it alone. You know, there's a lot that you can do alone, but once you start asking for help, ideas come into play and people help you get where you want to be. And it's not a crutch, it's not a weakness, it's simply that two are better than one, and or 10. So, you know, please don't discredit what your dreams are. Write them down, say it out loud. Gosh, this is what I want to do. And then start taking small baby steps toward that. So as I was thinking about all that I get to do and all of the things that I want to do, I was thinking, you know, just be present. You know, give the gift of yourself of being in the moment. And what do I currently have? And what are my blessings, and what take stock of what I have accomplished so far. And I really I don't care. I don't care how little or great you feel about yourself and what you've accomplished. It doesn't matter. I know you have a list of things that you have accomplished, that you have done, and you find yourself sitting in a situation with that feeling of, maybe you're feeling that you know, not quite so good about yourself. Maybe you're thinking, you know, well, there's, you know, what have I done so far? Just take a look around, look down at your legs, see that you're clothed, you know, look in the mirror, and if you didn't put on a smile, put on a smile, or if you want an angry face, but just take a look, because if you're looking down and you're grateful for your clothing that you have, and the food that, you know, the little bowl of cereal that you've been blessed with this morning, if you look around at those things and you take inventory of what you currently have, then you find you puts you in a place to open up to be able to receive other things that you want in your life. Not just what you have. You know, you get to, you know, if you're blessed, you get to take a shower, you get to get cleaned up, you get to put on clothes, and you have a vehicle, hopefully, or some means of transportation where it will take you to a place where you get to go to work, if in fact you are in the professional workplace. If you start thinking like that and just trying it, and whenever I recommend these things to you guys, I'm not trying to be like some guru or something that, you know, this is it's because I've tried it and it worked. And I think, well, if this worked for me and it was so simple as a language barrier of saying I get to instead of I have to, maybe that could help someone else. And so what it did is it actually provided me a space in my head to start thinking about other things that I truly, truly desire. I know it's odd, but here's what I'm asking. Try it for 7 days. And every time you think a negative thought, you can't think a negative and a positive at the same time. Every time you think a negative thought, you try and combat it. Try and counter that with, you know, well, that's happening, but at least I get, or I have these things, or I have that family, or I have that friend. I have a home. I have to pay rent. No, I get to pay rent. If you get to do these things, that means you're here on earth. There's a purpose and a reason. And you know, just offering that up to yourself. It's giving yourself the gift of being in the present moment in time. So give that a try. And I highly, highly recommend it. It is a a wonderful mental exercise. We physically, we work out, or we take walks, or we get our heart going, or we do our cardio, or, maybe you're just on the sofa, just watching some TV and hanging out, and that's what your life is. I get to watch television. Not feeling bad that you're home on a Saturday night and you feel like you should be on a date or doing something else. I get to be alive. We're on this side of the grass. Start appreciating those things. And I promise you, without fail, it will change your life and your manner of thinking. So it's called I Get To. So instead of I have to, I get to. And I know that my nephew Todd, we do Tuesdays with Todd. It's a real fun little thing that we've got going, but it's actually, what brings Todd and I together and talking about different things is not necessarily all positive. Todd is he's in recovery every single day from substance abuse and, alcoholism and drugs and whatever. And he has taken that and turned it into something where he's not only constantly working on himself to get through and make a difference, but he also reaches out to others. And whether it's speaking or coming on this show or going to some of the confidential AA meetings so that he can help inspire someone else, he gets to do that. He was talking about that one day, that how blessed he feels because he gets to do these things. And it's pretty amazing. So it's more than one. It's not just me. It also worked for him as well. And so he goes out and on his crusade and shares that message with others. So I want to keep it a little bit short today because I've got some other things to do. And if you may or may not know, I'm a recruiter and a trainer, and I've got a big girl job that I need to get to as well. But just kind of wanted to leave you guys with that little bit of a message of, I have to go so I can get to work. I get to go to work. See how that works? Very lucky. Okay, so a little message. I ran into something, and I know I've read this before on the show, but it's just the sweetest little thing. Many years ago, I used to teach after school programs, and it turned out to be quite a success. And I would say over the course of time that my kids were in primary school, I may have taught folks how do I put this? In the hundreds? Maybe I taught hundreds of kids. So it very, very exciting and always loved it. And teaching them creative writing, public speaking, several different types in that medium, radio, television, broadcasting, and really, really enjoyed what I was doing and hopefully making a difference to these kids. And what we would do is we did something called an anthology, and I would do a collection of all their work, and we would put it into a book, and we would auction that off. And it made money for the school. We did that through PTA, and I keep running into this bookmark that I wrote the poem, and then had it designed, and it was like a little token, a little gift that I gave the kids. And it's when I look at it and I see just how cute it is and how adorable, and it was written back October 17th, 2001. We all know what that was, a month or so after the tragedy that hit America in New York. And I was really emotional and inspired at that time. And there was just an outpouring of children's stories and poetry that came out of me at that time. And because of that, I am the author of, 25 to 30 beautiful, perfected children's stories, but I do not have an illustrator. So I want to be able to work towards, I want to work towards. So, see, this is my call to the universe. I want to work